Becoming a monster isn't about being ruthless or violent. It's about pushing yourself beyond what you ever thought possible and unlocking your true potential. It's about developing the kind of strength that isn't just physical, but mental and emotional. The kind of strength that doesn't crumble when life gets tough. Instead, it gets stronger. Most people live their lives in a cycle of comfort. They chase after temporary wins, get a little taste of success, and then settle. But if you want to achieve greatness, if you want to build something that lasts, you need to go beyond this. You need to break free from your limits and become someone who thrives, no matter the circumstances. Someone who has the discipline to stay focused, the resilience to keep going even when it hurts, and the determination to outwork and outlast everyone else. In this audiobook, I'll show you exactly how to become the kind of person who's unstoppable. Someone who doesn't just achieve success, but who builds a legacy. This isn't about changing who you are. It's about tapping into the version of yourself that's always been there waiting to come out. By the end of this video, you'll have the tools you need to start working toward a life that doesn't just leave a mark, it leaves an impact that lasts forever. So if you're tired of playing small, if you're ready to break the cycle and go after the life you deserve, stay with me. You're about to take the first step toward becoming a monster, unstoppable, resilient, and destined for greatness. Let's get started. Chapter 1. The Birth of a Monster. Why you must transform. It's not something you plan for. It happens in an instant. Maybe you hit rock bottom. Maybe you get tired of your own excuses. Maybe you wake up one day and realize you are nowhere close to the person you were meant to be. And at that moment, something inside of you wakes up. A fire, a hunger, a rage against everything that has kept you small. This is where the transformation begins. This is where you decide, once and for all, that you will no longer be a slave to your own weakness. That you will no longer be held back by fear, doubt, or hesitation. You were not born to be average. You were not put on this earth to be weak, to be soft, to be another nameless face in the crowd. You were born to dominate. You were built to rise above the noise, to carve your own path, to become something that cannot be ignored. But none of that happens by accident. It happens the moment you decide to kill the old version of yourself and become something new, something relentless, something powerful, something unstoppable. The world has lied to you. It has told you that being aggressive is wrong, that wanting more is selfish, that standing up for yourself is arrogant. But let me tell you the truth. Power is not given, it is taken. Success is not handed out, it is earned. And respect. Respect is only given to those who demand it, who refuse to settle, who are willing to go further, work harder, and push through every single obstacle that stands in their way. The world does not respect the weak. It does not care about your excuses. It does not reward hesitation. You either step up and take control, or you get left behind. Right now, you are at a crossroads. There are only two paths ahead of you. One is easy, one is comfortable, one lets you stay exactly as you are, but that path leads to nowhere. It leads to regret, to mediocrity, to a life where you look back and wonder why you never became the person you knew you could be. And then there is the other path, the hard path, the one that demands everything from you, the one that forces you to sacrifice, to suffer, to push through the pain. But this is the only path that leads to transformation. You do not become powerful by wishing for it. You do not become disciplined by reading about it. You do not become dangerous by talking about it. You become a monster by doing the work, by showing up every single day and doing what must be done, no matter how you feel. You become a monster by facing your fears, by pushing through the pain, by refusing to let anything stop you. The difference between the weak and the strong is simple. The weak wait for motivation. The strong act regardless of how they feel. The weak look for excuses. The strong look for solutions. The weak run from pain. The strong use it as fuel. Pain is your greatest teacher. Every moment of suffering, every failure, every rejection, it is all a gift. Because pain will either break you or it will build you. And that choice is yours. Most people run from it. They numb themselves. They distract themselves. They do everything they can to avoid the discomfort. And that is why they stay weak. But the ones who embrace the pain, the ones who use it, who learn from it, who turn it into power, those are the ones who rise above everyone else. There is no room for softness in this journey, no room for hesitation, no room for weakness. If you are serious about changing your life, about becoming something more, then you must be willing to kill the old version of yourself. That means eliminating every thought, every habit, and every belief that has kept you small. That means cutting off every distraction, every toxic influence, every excuse. That means looking in the mirror and admitting the truth. You are not yet who you need to be. And then making the decision to change. This transformation is not for everyone. Most people will never do it. Most people will stay stuck in their comfortable little lives, afraid to push beyond their limits. And that is why most people will never know what it feels like to be truly powerful. But you are not most people. You are here because something inside of you refuses to settle. Something inside of you knows that you are meant for more, and that is why you must commit, fully, completely, without hesitation. There is no going back. Once you start this journey, you must burn every bridge that connects you to the weaker version of yourself. You must move forward with relentless focus, with unshakable determination, with the kind of intensity that makes people stop and take notice. The world will not hand you success. It will not give you power. It will not make you strong. You must take it. You must earn it. And you must be willing to do whatever it takes to make it happen. The old you is dead. The version of you that hesitated, that doubted, that made excuses, it no longer exists. From this moment forward, you are something else. You are something stronger. You are something that cannot be stopped. This is the birth of a monster, and once that monster is awake, nothing will ever be the same again. Now go, get to work. Chapter 2. Ruthless ownership. Take control or be controlled. There comes a point when you have to face the truth. No more lies. No more sugarcoating. No more blaming circumstances, other people, or bad luck. The reality is this: everything in your life is your responsibility. Every failure, every setback, every missed opportunity. It's all on you. The sooner you accept this, the sooner you take control. But if you refuse, if you keep running, keep making excuses, keep pretending the world is against you, then you will always be weak. You will always be stuck. You will always be controlled by forces outside of yourself. Look around. Most people are sleepwalking through life, blaming everything and everyone but themselves for where they are. They talk about their problems like they had no hand in creating them. They point fingers at the government, their family, their childhood, their boss, the economy, anything to avoid looking in the mirror. But here's the truth. The moment you give blame, you give away power. The moment you say, "It's not my fault," you are telling yourself that you have no control over your own life. And that is a lie. You have control. You have always had control. But control requires responsibility. And most people are terrified of it. Because when you take full responsibility, you can no longer hide behind excuses. You can no longer play the victim. You can no longer wait for someone to save you. Taking ruthless ownership means owning everything: your choices, your mindset, your failures, your habits, your results. It means standing up and saying, I am exactly where I deserve to be based on my actions, and if I don't like it, I have to change. Most people don't want to hear that. They want to believe life is unfair. They want to believe the odds are stacked against them. They want to believe that some people are just luckier, just more gifted, just born into the right circumstances. But that's all just noise. That's all just a convenient way to avoid doing the hard work. Because the truth is, no one is coming to fix your life for you. No one is going to hand you success. No one is going to wake you up in the morning and force you to take action. That is on you. But that's the good news. Because if it's all on you, that means you have the power to change it. If you are responsible for your failures, that means you are also responsible for your victories. If you are the reason you're struggling, you can also be the reason you rise. The moment you accept this, you become unstoppable. You stop waiting. You stop wishing. You stop hoping that someday things will magically get better. Instead, you make them better. You take control. You get up every day and do what needs to be done. You build the habits. You put in the effort. You make the sacrifices. And you refuse to stop until you get where you want to be. And let's be clear, this will not be easy. People will try to pull you back. They will tell you that you are being too hard on yourself, that you should just accept your circumstances, that life is unfair, and there's nothing you can do about it. But those are the same people who will never rise above mediocrity. Those are the people who will never experience true power, true discipline, true success. You have to cut through the noise. You have to ignore the opinions of those who are too weak to take ownership of their own lives. Because this is what happens when you take ruthless ownership. You become dangerous. You stop reacting to life and start dictating it. You stop waiting for permission and start taking action. You stop caring about how hard it is, how long it takes, or how much it hurts. Because you know it doesn't matter. The only thing that matters is that you keep going. Excuses are the language of the weak. If you are serious about this transformation, then excuses must die today. They cannot exist in your world anymore. It doesn't matter if you're tired. It doesn't matter if you don't feel like it. It doesn't matter if life has been unfair. None of that matters. The only thing that matters is what you are willing to do about it. You want more money? Take ownership and find a way to make it happen. You want a stronger body? Take ownership and train like it's your last day on earth. You want more discipline? Take ownership and build the habits. Show up every day and refuse to negotiate with weakness. The world will not hand you anything, but it will allow you to take it if you are willing to pay the price. And that price is everything. It's the version of you that hesitates. It's the version of you that complains. It's the version of you that makes excuses, that blames the past, that looks for shortcuts. That version of you must die, and in its place something stronger must rise. A version of you that owns every part of your life. A version of you that refuses to settle. A version of you that looks at every challenge and says, I will find a way. There are two types of people in this world, those who take control and those who get controlled, and you have a choice. You can either step up, take full responsibility, and start building the life you want, or you can keep making excuses, keep waiting for someone to save you, and keep watching as life passes you by. But know this, if you don't control your life, someone else will. If you don't take ownership of your time, your habits, your mindset, your discipline, then the world will decide for you, and it will not be in your favor. The people who take control are the ones who win. The people who hesitate, who blame, who complain, they are the ones who lose. This is the moment you stop being a spectator in your own life. The moment you stop giving your power away, the moment you step up and claim responsibility for every single thing that happens from this day forward. No more waiting, no more weakness. You are in control now. And once you take that control, once you embrace the responsibility, once you fully own your life, no one can ever take it from you again. Chapter 3. The Power of Relentless Discipline. You know what separates the average from the unstoppable. Discipline. The ability to show up every single day, whether you feel like it or not, whether you're tired or energized, whether the world is watching or no one even cares. This is the secret weapon of those who dominate life. Not talent, not luck, not connections. Discipline. The relentless, unshakable commitment to doing what needs to be done, no matter what. Most people don't have it. They rely on motivation, on bursts of inspiration, on the perfect circumstances. They wake up and ask themselves, do I feel like working today? Do I feel like pushing myself? And when the answer is no, they quit. They stay in bed. They procrastinate. They say, I'll do it tomorrow. And that is why they fail. Because motivation is temporary. It comes and goes like the wind. But discipline is eternal. It's the force that drives you forward, even when every part of you wants to stop. If you want to build a life that others envy, if you want to reach a level of success that most people only dream about, you have to kill the idea that you need to feel like doing something in order to do it. You have to rewire your mind so that discipline becomes your default setting. The question is no longer, do I want to? The question is this what needs to be done? And if the answer is yes, you do it. No hesitation, no second guessing, no debate. Weakness thrives on negotiation. The moment you start thinking, maybe I'll skip today, maybe I'll take it easy, maybe just one more hour of sleep, you've already lost. The strongest, most disciplined people in the world don't waste time debating with their own minds. They set a standard and they live by it. Wake up at 5 a.m. Done. Work out 6 days a week. Done. Work on your business every day. Done. No questions, no negotiations. This is how you create an unstoppable force within yourself, by eliminating the option to quit, by removing the possibility of making excuses, by deciding once and for all that your goals are non-negotiable, that your standards are untouchable, that nothing, no mood, no weather, no setback is strong enough to shake your commitment. And here's the truth. Your mind will fight you. It will beg for comfort. It will scream for an easier way. It will tell you that skipping today won't matter, that you deserve a break, that no one will even know if you slack off. But that's the trap. That's the difference between those who rise and those who stay stuck. The disciplined ones ignore the voice of weakness. They push through, even when it sucks, even when they don't feel like it, even when every cell in their body is telling them to quit. This is where real power is born. Not in the easy days, not when things are going well, but in the moments where everything inside you wants to stop, and you keep going anyway. Every time you choose discipline over comfort, you get stronger. Every time you push through, your mind becomes sharper. Every time you refuse to quit, you build a version of yourself that cannot be broken. The world rewards those who show up, not those who make excuses. Look around. The most successful people, the ones who have built empires, who have bodies carved out of stone, who have minds sharp as a blade, they weren't handed discipline, they built it. Day after day, decision after decision, sacrifice after sacrifice. You have that same power, but you have to commit. You have to stop waiting for the right time, stop searching for shortcuts, stop believing that one day you'll wake up magically disciplined, It doesn't work like that. Discipline is built through action, through repetition, through consistency, through doing the work every single day until it becomes who you are. And make no mistake, this is war, a war against your weaknesses, a war against your old habits, a war against the version of you that settles for less. Every day is a battle, every moment is a choice, and every choice either makes you stronger or keeps you stuck. Decide right now that you will no longer let weakness control you. Decide that you will no longer be the person who quits when things get hard. Decide that you will become the kind of person who does what needs to be done, no matter what. And then prove it. Not tomorrow, not next week, not when you feel ready. Right now. Because the truth is, the disciplined will always win. They will always rise. They will always conquer. While the weak complain, the disciplined take action. While the weak hesitate, the disciplined execute. While the weak dream, the disciplined build. You want to be powerful? Be disciplined. You want to be successful? Be disciplined. You want to be a monster? Be disciplined. Everything you want in life is on the other side of that choice. So make it, and never look back. Chapter 4. Mastering the Monster Mindset. The Art of Unshakable Confidence. The power of unshakable confidence lies not in a belief that you're perfect, but in an unwavering trust in your ability to handle whatever comes your way. It's the foundation upon which every great accomplishment is built. No one ever rose to greatness without first conquering self-doubt. If you want to become unstoppable, you must learn how to master your mindset and cultivate a confidence that doesn't waver in the face of adversity. Confidence isn't just about walking into a room with your chest out and your head held high, hoping people notice. It's about how you carry yourself when no one is watching. It's about showing up for yourself, doing the hard work, and knowing that no matter what happens, you can handle it. This kind of confidence is earned, not granted. It's the result of countless hours of dedication, focus, and pushing yourself beyond what you thought was possible. Most people are crippled by their own self-doubt. They look at their dreams and think, "I can't do that." They see the obstacles and say, "That's too hard." They focus on their failures instead of their progress. But here's the thing, confidence is built through action. You don't become confident by wishing for it. You don't become confident by waiting for the perfect moment. You become confident by doing, by taking risks, by embracing the challenge. When you have confidence in yourself, you stop questioning your abilities. You stop wondering if you're good enough. You stop worrying about what others think. Because deep down, you know your value isn't dependent on external validation. You know your worth is determined by your actions, your consistency, and your resolve. And when you believe in your own ability to handle whatever life throws your way, there is no obstacle too big, no challenge too overwhelming. But how do you get there? How do you go from self-doubt to unshakable confidence? The answer is simple, but not easy. You have to embrace discomfort. You have to face the parts of yourself that you avoid, the fears that hold you back, the insecurities that undermine your potential. You must step into those moments of fear, of uncertainty, and take action anyway. Every time you choose to act despite the fear, you strengthen your belief in yourself. Think about it for a moment. The people you admire the most, the ones who inspire you, the ones who seem to have everything together, are they any different from you? Are they somehow born with more talent or more ability? No, they're just willing to do what others aren't. They're willing to feel the fear, the uncertainty, and the discomfort, and take action anyway. That's what sets them apart. But this isn't just about taking action in the big moments. Confidence is built in the small, everyday choices. It's about showing up for yourself when no one is watching. It's about doing the work, even when it feels hard, even when you'd rather quit, even when the results aren't showing up immediately. Confidence grows when you push yourself to do the things that others avoid. When you step outside of your comfort zone and tackle the challenges that scare you. It's also about consistency. Confidence isn't a one-time event. It's not something that happens overnight. It's built over time, through repeated actions, repeated failures, and repeated victories. Every time you push yourself to do something uncomfortable, you add another brick to the foundation of your confidence. Every time you fail and get back up, you prove to yourself that you are capable of handling whatever comes your way. And with each failure, your confidence grows. But here's the truth. Confidence doesn't come from always succeeding. It comes from being willing to fail. It comes from knowing that failure is not the end, but just a stepping stone on the path to success. Every failure is an opportunity to learn, to grow, and to become better. And when you embrace that, when you stop fearing failure and start using it as fuel, you'll find that your confidence grows faster than you ever imagined. One of the biggest misconceptions about confidence is that it's about being perfect. But it's not. Confidence is about trusting yourself enough to know that even when you make mistakes, you'll handle them. Even when things go wrong, you'll find a way to make it right. Confidence is about having faith in your ability to learn and grow, no matter the circumstances. It's about knowing that you are enough, exactly as you are, and that your potential is limitless. If you want to build unshakable confidence, start by committing to the process. Start by taking action, even when you don't feel like it. Start by embracing discomfort, by stepping into the unknown, by facing your fears head-on. Start by trusting yourself, even when it feels hard, and know that with each step, you are becoming more of the person you were meant to be. And remember this, confidence isn't about being fearless. It's about acting in spite of fear. It's about doing what you know you need to do, even when your heart is racing and your mind is telling you to quit. Confidence is built when you push through those moments of fear, when you decide that no matter what, you're not going to back down. If you commit to this process, if you show up every day, do the work, and trust yourself, you will find that unshakable confidence isn't something you have to wait for. It's something you can create every single day. And once you have it, nothing in the world will be able to stop you. So go ahead, take the first step. Trust yourself, embrace the discomfort, and build the confidence that will carry you to the top. Your future self will thank you. Chapter 5. Pain is fuel. How to use suffering as a weapon. Pain is the catalyst for growth. It's the fire that refines the steel, the weight that builds muscle, the pressure that creates diamonds. Most people want to avoid pain at all costs, yet it's the one thing that separates those who stay stagnant from those who rise to greatness. Pain doesn't have to be a sign of failure or weakness. In fact, it's the most powerful tool you have at your disposal for transformation. When you learn to use pain as fuel, you'll unlock a level of strength and resilience that most people can only dream of. The problem is, too many people view pain as a signal to retreat, to give up, to seek comfort. They see discomfort as something to avoid, not something to embrace. But if you want to become a monster, if you want to rise above the average person, you must learn to redefine pain. Pain isn't your enemy. It's your greatest ally. Every time you face discomfort head-on and keep moving forward, you're growing stronger. Every time you push through the pain, you're proving to yourself that you're capable of more than you ever thought possible. Think about it for a moment. Every time you've achieved something great, Hasn't it come on the other side of struggle? Every moment of personal growth is born from a period of discomfort, hardship, and pain. Whether it was learning a new skill, building a business, or overcoming a personal challenge, it was the struggle that made the success meaningful. Without the pain, the victory wouldn't feel as sweet. It's the hard road that makes the destination worth it. But pain doesn't just come from external challenges. It also comes from within. It comes from the discomfort of confronting your own weaknesses, insecurities, and limitations. It comes from facing the truth about where you're not measuring up, where you're falling short, and where you've been holding yourself back. Most people avoid this inner pain like the plague because it's uncomfortable. It forces them to acknowledge the things they don't want to face. But here's the thing, this inner pain is the key to unlocking your true potential. The more you face it, the more you learn about yourself, and the stronger you become. When you learn to use pain as fuel, you stop running from discomfort. You stop letting it control you. Instead of recoiling from challenges, you welcome them. You start to look at every setback, every failure, and every uncomfortable situation as an opportunity to grow. You stop seeing pain as something to avoid, and instead, you see it as a tool to propel you forward. The most successful people in the world don't shy away from pain, they embrace it. They know that it's the only way to build true strength, character, and resilience. Pain forces you to adapt. When you're faced with discomfort, you have two choices. You can shrink, or you can rise. You can let it defeat you, or you can let it transform you. If you choose the latter, you begin to develop a mindset that no obstacle is too great to overcome. You start to realize that every challenge is an opportunity to level up. When you get comfortable with being uncomfortable, you stop getting knocked down by life's hardships. Instead, you learn how to rise stronger each time. But this isn't just about physical pain. Emotional pain is just as powerful, if not more so. Think about the last time you experienced heartbreak, rejection, or failure. It hurt, didn't it? It was painful, maybe even devastating. But in that pain, there was a lesson. You grew from it. You learned something about yourself, about the world, and about how strong you really are. Emotional pain forces you to dig deep, to discover new strengths, and to build a resilience that will serve you for the rest of your life. The key is not to avoid pain, but to embrace it. When you're in the midst of a difficult situation, instead of running from it, ask yourself, what can I learn from this? How can this pain help me grow? What strength is this challenging experience going to build in me? When you start viewing pain through this lens, you'll notice something amazing. You'll stop feeling like a victim and start feeling like a warrior. You'll begin to see every challenge, every hardship, as a stepping stone on your path to greatness. Pain is the ultimate teacher. It doesn't care about your excuses or your limitations. It will push you beyond what you thought was possible. It will force you to break through your self-imposed boundaries and tap into a well of strength you never knew existed. And once you experience the power that comes from pushing through pain, you'll never look at it the same way again. It won't be something you avoid. It will be something you welcome. As you continue to embrace pain and use it as fuel, something incredible happens. You stop fearing it. You stop letting it control you. You start to see pain as a necessary part of your journey, a sign that you're pushing yourself beyond your comfort zone and into the realm of greatness. Every time you face pain head-on and keep moving forward, you grow stronger. You build resilience. You develop the mental and emotional toughness required to handle whatever life throws your way. When you learn to use pain as fuel, you stop seeing yourself as a victim of your circumstances. Instead, You see yourself as the creator of your destiny. You take ownership of your pain, your struggles, and your challenges. You stop blaming others, and you stop feeling sorry for yourself. Instead, you start using every setback as an opportunity to rise higher, to push further, and to become the person you were always meant to be. This is the power of pain. It's not a sign of weakness, it's a sign of strength. It's not something to be feared, it's something to be harnessed. When you learn to use pain as fuel, you unlock a level of resilience, toughness, and inner strength that will carry you through any challenge. You'll realize that no matter what life throws your way, you've got what it takes to handle it. And that, my friend, is the kind of power that can truly transform your life. So the next time pain knocks on your door, don't run from it. Don't try to hide from it. Embrace it. Use it as fuel to push harder, to dig deeper, and to become the best version of yourself. The road may be tough, but with pain as your ally, there is no limit to what you can achieve. Chapter 6. Becoming dangerous, the power of controlled aggression. It doesn't mean becoming reckless, out of control, or angry. It means developing a focused, relentless, and purposeful energy that propels you toward greatness. Dangerous doesn't mean violent or destructive. It means powerful, unpredictable, in the best possible way, and relentlessly driven. The world doesn't need more passive people who follow the crowd, who wait for the right moment to strike. The world needs people who know exactly who they are, who possess a deep inner fire that fuels them every single day. That's the kind of power you're about to tap into. Controlled aggression is about mastering your emotions, your drive, and your focus. It's about channeling all the energy you feel, anger, frustration, desire, passion, into something that propels you forward with unstoppable force. The energy you feel inside doesn't need to be suppressed. It's not about bottling up that fire or pretending it doesn't exist. It's about taking that fire and shaping it, controlling it, and using it as a tool for success. Most people don't know how to harness their aggression. They let it control them, responding impulsively to situations, flying off the handle at the slightest provocation. But the real power comes from knowing when to use that aggression and when to hold it in check. True strength doesn't come from letting emotions run wild. It comes from the discipline to direct those emotions in ways that serve you. It's about using your inner energy to fuel your actions, not to react emotionally to every situation. This is the power of controlled aggression. You've seen it before. You've witnessed people with raw energy, with fire in their eyes, burning with passion and purpose. And what happens? They get things done. They take massive action. Their drive is unmatched, and their focus is unwavering. They get the results others only dream of. The difference between them and most people is simple. They've learned how to control that energy and use it to their advantage. Imagine waking up every morning with the kind of energy that makes you feel unstoppable. You're not sluggish, tired, or distracted. You're fired up, ready to conquer whatever comes your way. You move through your day with a purpose, every action, every thought, every step geared toward your goals. This isn't just about working harder, it's about working with the intensity and precision of a beast on a mission. When you tap into controlled aggression, you don't just go through the motions of life, you attack it. You approach every challenge with the mindset of someone who is unshakable, someone who knows that their success is inevitable. You don't just react to the world around you, you create your own reality. Every goal you set is met with a relentless pursuit that doesn't know how to quit. This is the kind of power that separates the successful from the average. But here's the thing. You can't become dangerous without first becoming self-aware. You have to know what triggers you, what excites you, what angers you, and what drives you. If you don't know what's inside you, you can't control it. Self-awareness is the foundation of controlled aggression. It's about being honest with yourself, understanding your strengths and weaknesses, and knowing how to channel your energy in the right direction. When you start to harness your inner aggression, something amazing happens. You stop being afraid of your emotions. You stop letting them dictate your behavior. Instead of reacting impulsively, you start to act with purpose. You start to make decisions based on your goals, not your feelings. When you're in control of your emotions, you're in control of your destiny. Think about it. When you can take your raw emotions and turn them into focused action, you become a force to be reckoned with. You become a person who doesn't sit back and wait for things to happen. You make things happen. You don't let obstacles stop you. You find a way around them. When you meet challenges, you rise to the occasion with the intensity of someone who knows exactly what they want and is willing to do whatever it takes to get it. The most successful people in the world are dangerous in the best possible way. They know how to channel their emotions, their energy, and their drive toward their goals. They don't let fear or doubt hold them back. They don't let failure define them. Instead, they use every setback as a stepping stone, every challenge as an opportunity to prove their strength. When you tap into this level of controlled aggression, you stop playing small. You stop allowing other people to dictate your life. You take full control and begin to make your own rules. So how do you become dangerous? It starts with discipline. Discipline is the key to controlling your aggression. It's not enough to feel fire inside of you. You have to know how to use it. You have to learn how to direct it toward your goals with laser focus. When you master your discipline, you begin to master yourself. You stop being reactive and start being proactive. You begin to act with intention, with purpose, and with power. Becoming dangerous doesn't mean becoming reckless. It means becoming someone who is unshakable, someone who is driven by a purpose greater than themselves. It means waking up every day with a fire in your belly, a sense of direction, and a deep understanding that nothing is going to stand in your way. It's about knowing that you have the power to shape your own destiny, and that no obstacle, no matter how big, can stop you from achieving your dreams. When you master controlled aggression, you become a person who gets things done, who takes massive action, and who moves through life with unstoppable momentum. You become someone who doesn't wait for the right moment. You create the right moment. You begin to operate at a level that others can't even comprehend. This is what makes you dangerous. This is what makes you unstoppable. So stop holding yourself back. Stop doubting yourself. Embrace your inner fire and use it to fuel your greatness. The world is waiting for you to step into your power. When you learn to control your aggression and use it to propel yourself forward, you become a force that cannot be ignored. It's time to become dangerous in the best possible way. It's time to take control of your life, your destiny, and your future. The world won't know what hit it when you unleash the power within you. Chapter 7. The Art of War. How to outwork, outthink, and outlast everyone. Mastering the art of war doesn't mean you have to go into battle with swords drawn, or that you need to be surrounded by enemies. The art of war is all about strategy, precision, and execution. It's about understanding that life is a game, and only those who play with intelligence, focus, and relentless effort will win. Every day is an opportunity for you to outwork, outthink, and outlast the competition. The winners don't sit back, waiting for opportunities to come their way. They create them, relentlessly, with a mind that never stops thinking, a body that never stops moving, and a will that never gives up. When you commit to mastering this art, you'll soon realize that the obstacles in your path are not roadblocks but challenges designed to sharpen your mind, strengthen your body, and make you better. It doesn't take much to see that the world is filled with distractions, confusion, and noise. There are so many people who want to tell you what to do, how to do it, and when to do it. But none of that matters unless you understand the game that's truly at play. Winning isn't about having the loudest voice in the room or the flashiest moves. Winning is about having the clarity to focus on the things that really matter, the strength to outwork everyone else, and the tenacity to outlast the struggles that try to break you. Think about the most successful people you've ever known. Do you think they got to where they are by being average? Do you think they became masters of their craft by staying comfortable? No, they didn't just work hard, they worked strategically. They didn't just put in the hours, they made sure every single one of those hours was spent getting them closer to their goal. That's what separates the average from the extraordinary. The extraordinary understand that there's more to success than simply showing up. They show up with a plan, with intensity, and with an unrelenting drive. When you adopt this mindset, you're no longer just another person in the crowd. You stop blending in with the noise. You become someone who stands out, someone who commands attention not because you try to, but because your results speak for themselves. And results are the ultimate language of success. Your work, your dedication, your consistency, all of that will build a reputation that no one can ignore. But you have to stay committed to the art of working smarter, not just harder. Success isn't a sprint, it's a marathon, and marathons aren't won by the person who starts off the fastest. They're won by the person who keeps going, no matter what. They're won by the person who refuses to quit, who has the strength to push through when everything inside them is screaming to give up. Life's battles aren't won by the loudest voice in the room, but by the quiet, determined force that gets up every single day and gives it everything they've got. Outworking others isn't just about putting in long hours, it's about putting in the right kind of hours. It's about understanding that time is your most valuable asset and learning how to make every minute count. When others are scrolling through social media, you're sharpening your skills. When others are taking breaks, you're learning something new. While people waste their time on things that don't matter, you're using every second to get one step closer to your goal. When you take this approach, your progress will be undeniable. But just outworking people isn't enough. Outthinking them is just as crucial. You have to get smarter than the competition. The more you learn, the more you develop your craft, the more you put yourself in the position to win. Don't just be someone who is working harder than others, be someone who is working smarter. Don't just keep doing things because they've always been done that way. Challenge the norms. Challenge your own beliefs. Look for better ways to accomplish your goals. Success doesn't come to the person who follows the pack. It comes to the one who leads it, to the one who can see the bigger picture. The last piece of the puzzle is outlasting the competition. Everyone can hustle for a season. Everyone can put in the effort when things are easy. But the real test comes when the going gets tough, when the days get long, when the obstacles seem insurmountable. That's when you've got to be the one who refuses to stop. It's about maintaining your momentum when others are starting to break down, when others are ready to quit. Winning requires a level of perseverance that most people don't have. It requires grit, resilience, and the ability to push forward when everything is telling you to stop. But it's this very quality that separates the ones who eventually make it from the ones who don't. Outlasting your competition means continuing to show up when everyone else starts to fall off. It means being the person who doesn't just throw in the towel when the results don't come quickly enough. The winners aren't the ones who have it easy. The winners are the ones who keep showing up, even when it feels like everything is against them. You have to develop the kind of strength that lets you push through the hard days, the setbacks, and the failures without losing sight of your goal. Remember, the world is full of distractions. Everyone has an opinion about what you should be doing, what you should be focused on, but only those who focus relentlessly on their own journey, who refuse to let outside noise derail them, are the ones who succeed. The art of war is knowing that you can't fight every battle. You have to be strategic, choose your battles wisely, focus your energy on the areas where you can make the most impact, where you can get the best results. The key is knowing when to push forward, when to retreat, and when to change direction. Every day is a chance for you to get smarter, work harder, and outlast the competition. When you commit to mastering the art of war, you commit to a life of discipline, focus, and execution. You stop making excuses. You stop waiting for the perfect moment. You start taking massive action, day in and day out, to outwork, outthink, and outlast everyone around you. This is the secret to winning the game of life. The key to success is simple: keep going when others quit, keep learning when others stagnate, and keep working when others rest. When you embrace this mindset, you will begin to see that success isn't just something you hope for, it's something you create through consistent action and strategic focus. Winning isn't reserved for the lucky or the gifted, it's reserved for those who are willing to do whatever it takes to rise above the rest. By mastering the art of war, you will become someone who moves through the world with power, purpose, and unshakable confidence. The game of life is yours to win. It's time to step up and claim your victory. Chapter 8. Cutting off weakness. Ruthless elimination of distractions. Every day you face a multitude of distractions. Some are big, some are small, but all of them have one goal in mind: to steal your focus, drain your energy, and prevent you from reaching your potential. It's like trying to run a race while carrying a 100-pound backpack. That weight, the distractions, the unnecessary noise, is what holds you back. If you want to rise to the top, if you want to unlock the true potential inside you, you need to eliminate weakness. You need to ruthlessly cut off anything that doesn't serve your purpose. You need to understand that distractions are the enemy of success. They don't just slow you down, they stop you from becoming the person you were always meant to be. This is where discipline becomes your most powerful weapon. In a world that's constantly vying for your attention, it takes incredible strength to stay focused. But make no mistake, discipline is not about being rigid or forcing yourself into a box. It's about making conscious choices, choosing what to focus on, choosing what to let go of, and choosing how to spend your time, energy, and resources. It's about taking full ownership of your life and deciding that nothing, no matter how tempting or urgent, will stand in the way of your mission. Think about it for a second. How many times have you wasted time scrolling through social media, watching TV shows you don't even enjoy, or engaging in conversations that add no real value to your life? These things don't contribute to your growth. They don't help you become better, stronger, or more successful. In fact, they rob you of the energy and focus you could be using to create something extraordinary. And here's the thing, they won't just go away on their own. If you don't take control and eliminate these distractions, they'll continue to take up space in your life. They'll hold you hostage to habits that won't move you forward, and they'll prevent you from achieving your true potential. The key to cutting off weakness is understanding that not everything deserves your attention. The world wants to pull you in 1,000 different directions, but you don't have to follow. You get to choose. Every time you engage with something that doesn't align with your goals, you give away a piece of your power. Every time you choose to ignore your own dreams in favor of something that feels good in the moment, you weaken yourself. If you want to be a monster, you need to be relentless in your ability to filter out the things that don't matter. You need to become someone who only focuses on what will move the needle in your life, someone who refuses to give energy to things that don't serve your purpose. Let me be clear about something. This is not about being perfect. Perfection doesn't exist. It's about being intentional. It's about choosing what deserves your time and energy and giving it everything you've got. It's about recognizing that every minute of every day is precious, and when you waste even a single second, you're wasting the life you've been given. This isn't a drill. This is the real thing. Every decision you make, every action you take, shapes the person you become. If you want to be the person who achieves greatness, you have to stop letting distractions and weaknesses pull you in every direction. You have to make a commitment to yourself that nothing will stand in your way. This process isn't always easy, and there will be times when you'll feel tempted to fall back into old habits. You'll feel the pull of comfort, the lure of easy entertainment, or the distraction of meaningless tasks that seem urgent but aren't really important. But here's the truth. Every time you give in to those distractions, you're telling yourself that your goals aren't important enough to fight for. You're telling yourself that your dreams aren't worth the effort. So you have to stop making excuses. You have to stop rationalizing your distractions and start cutting them off. One by one. Start small. Identify the distractions in your life, those things that drain your energy, waste your time, or keep you from being fully present. It could be that extra hour spent watching a show you don't even care about, or it could be those conversations with people who don't contribute anything meaningful to your life. Whatever it is, make the decision to eliminate it. Don't just try to cut back or moderate. Take an all-out approach. If something doesn't serve your purpose, it doesn't belong in your life. Period. The first step is awareness. You need to become aware of the things that are holding you back. This requires taking a hard, honest look at your habits and routines. What are you spending time on that doesn't contribute to your growth? What are you prioritizing that's not moving you forward? Once you identify these distractions, you can start to take action. You can start making conscious decisions to replace them with things that are in alignment with your goals. If you want to become a monster, you have to be prepared to ruthlessly eliminate weakness, no matter how tempting or comfortable it may seem. Next, create new powerful habits. Habits are the building blocks of your life. The things you do every day, without thinking, will either make or break you. If you want to be the person who stays focused, who stays on track, you need to make new habits that support your mission. Replace your distractions with meaningful, productive actions. Set clear goals for yourself every day. Prioritize your time. Work on building your skills. If you make these habits a part of your daily routine, the distractions will start to fall away. Your life will start to reflect your commitment to your own growth. But cutting off weakness doesn't just apply to your time. It applies to your environment, your relationships, and your mindset. Look at the people around you. Are they lifting you up or dragging you down? Are they pushing you toward your goals, or are they filling your life with negativity and doubt? You have to be willing to cut off anyone or anything that doesn't align with your vision. You don't have time for toxic relationships, for people who don't believe in you, or for situations that drain your energy. It's harsh, but it's necessary. You're building a new life, a new version of yourself, and that means you have to be willing to leave behind the things that no longer serve you. Your environment plays a huge role in your success. The places you spend your time, the things you surround yourself with, can either support your growth or hinder it. So take a good look around you. Is your environment conducive to success, or does it make it harder for you to focus? If you want to become a monster, you need to create an environment that fosters discipline, focus, and growth. This could mean cleaning up your workspace, getting rid of distractions in your home, or even changing your physical environment to align with your goals. Every little change you make will help you build the mindset you need to succeed. Cutting off weakness also means eliminating the negative thoughts and beliefs that hold you back. We all have inner critics, those voices in our heads that tell us we're not good enough, that we'll never make it, that we'll never be successful. These beliefs are lies. They're distractions, and just like the external distractions in your life, you need to cut them off. Replace negative thoughts with positive, empowering beliefs. Every time that inner critic tries to tell you that you can't, fight back with the truth. You are strong, you are capable, you are destined for greatness. In the end, the process of cutting off weakness is about taking full control of your life. It's about deciding that you won't let distractions, negativity, or anything else stand in your way. It's about taking ownership of your time, your energy, and your focus. When you do this, you become unstoppable. When you eliminate the things that drain you, you open up space for the things that truly matter. And when you focus your energy on what's important, nothing will be able to stop you from reaching your goals. This is how you become a monster. You eliminate weakness from every corner of your life, and you create a life that's driven by purpose, discipline, and an unshakable belief in your own potential. The power to achieve greatness is in your hands. You just have to cut off everything that isn't serving you and step into the greatness that's waiting for you. Chapter 9. The Death of Your Old Self, Rebirth into the Monster Version of You. The day you decide to leave your old self behind is the day your transformation truly begins. Every person you've been up until this moment, every version of you that was afraid, uncertain, or held back, is about to die. And in its place, a new version of you will rise, stronger, sharper, and more powerful than ever before. This is the death of your old self. It's the moment where you stop clinging to your past, your excuses, and your comfort zones. You make the decision to let go of everything that no longer serves you, and you step into a new identity, one that's focused, relentless, and determined to become the best version of yourself. It's not easy. Change never is. But it's necessary. If you want to achieve the greatness that lies within you, you have to be willing to embrace the discomfort of change. You have to let go of the person you've been and step into the person you're meant to be. The old you, the one that was scared, the one that doubted, the one that held back, cannot exist in the new world you're creating. You have to kill that version of yourself and replace it with someone who's ready to rise. It's not about rejecting who you were. It's about embracing who you are becoming. It's about acknowledging that in order to grow, you must first shed what no longer serves you. The old you, the version of you that was full of excuses, habits that held you back, and limiting beliefs, has to be left behind. It's not just about changing what you do, it's about changing who you are at the core. The moment you embrace this new version of yourself, the world will start to respond differently. Opportunities will start to show up. People will notice your transformation, and they'll either step up to match your new energy or fall away. It's like flipping a switch in your life. The moment you decide to kill your old self, the new you starts to emerge. This process is about more than just breaking old habits or achieving new goals. It's about rewiring your brain, transforming your mindset, and making the decision to think, act, and live differently. You're not just changing your routine, you're changing the way you view yourself, your worth, and your potential. You're stepping into your power, fully and unapologetically. It's a mental shift, a spiritual shift, and a physical shift that affects every part of your being. You stop seeing yourself as someone who's struggling or falling short, and start seeing yourself as someone who is destined for success, no matter the obstacles. When you let go of the old version of yourself, you're not just saying goodbye to bad habits or limiting beliefs. You're saying goodbye to the fear that's been holding you back. You're saying goodbye to the doubts that have kept you stuck in mediocrity. You're saying goodbye to the comfort zone that's kept you safe, but also kept you from growing. And you're making room for something much bigger, much better, and much more powerful. You're making room for the monster inside you, the person who's ready to rise and conquer everything in their path. The truth is, the hardest part of any transformation is not the work you have to put in, it's the emotional battle you'll face as you kill your old self. It's the battle between the version of you that's comfortable and the version of you that's hungry for greatness. The old you will fight to stay alive. It will try to pull you back, to remind you of past failures, to convince you that change is too hard. It will make excuses. It will try to hold on to the past, but you cannot let it. You cannot let that old version of yourself control you anymore. Every time you feel the pull of your old self, remind yourself that you are stronger than that. You have the power to rewrite your story. You have the power to decide who you become. Every moment you stay committed to your new self, you kill a little more of the old version of you. Every time you make a choice that aligns with your goals and your purpose, you strengthen the new you. And every time you reject the old version of yourself, you step closer to the greatness that lies ahead. This is not a one-time event. This is a process. The death of your old self is something you must choose every single day. You must choose to leave behind the habits, the beliefs, the fears, and the limitations that have been holding you back. You must choose to wake up every morning and commit to becoming the best version of yourself. It's a daily decision, a daily commitment, and a daily sacrifice. But the payoff is worth it. The new you, the one that's unstoppable, disciplined, and committed to greatness, will emerge. But only if you allow it. Only if you make the decision to kill your old self and embrace the person you are meant to be. The transformation won't be easy, but it will be worth it. It will require everything you've got. But I promise you this, if you make this choice, if you commit to the process, you will see results. You will start to feel the power of the new you every single day. And eventually, the person you are becoming will feel so natural that the old version of you will seem like a distant memory. Let go of the old and make space for the new. Don't let fear, doubt, or comfort hold you back. The time is now. This is your moment to kill your old self and step into the greatness that's waiting for you. This is the moment you take full control of your life and become the person you were always meant to be. You've got this. The only thing standing between you and the life you desire is the decision to let go of the past. And once you make that decision, nothing will be able to stop you. Chapter 10. The Legacy of a Monster. Building an Unstoppable Life. To build an unstoppable life, you need to create a legacy that lives far beyond just your achievements. You see, many people are focused on success for success' sake, chasing the next big goal or the next shiny object, but that's not the true power. The true power comes from building something that doesn't just stand as a testament to your success, but stands as a symbol of who you were, what you did, and the impact you made. Legacy isn't about how much money you make, how famous you become, or how many people know your name. It's about how you live your life, the choices you make every day, and the ripple effects those choices have on everyone around you. It's about creating something that outlives you, something that makes a difference long after you're gone. And it starts right now, today, with the decisions you're making and the actions you're taking. Every person who has ever achieved anything remarkable built a legacy, whether they realized it at the time or not. They didn't just work toward a singular goal, they created something bigger than themselves. Whether it was through their work, their relationships, or the way they treated others, they left behind something of value. And that's what we need to focus on, leaving something valuable behind, not just for ourselves, but for everyone whose lives we touch. You don't have to wait until you're at the peak of your career or on top of the world to start building your legacy. It starts now, in the small moments, the everyday choices that define who you are. The way you treat people, the way you show up in the world, the way you take action when others sit back. This is the foundation of your legacy. It's easy to get caught up in the big milestones and forget that everything that happens in between is just as important. The days you feel like giving up, the moments when you're struggling, the days when you're making the most mundane choices, all of these contribute to the person you are and the legacy you'll leave behind. Building a legacy is also about setting the standard for what's possible. When you push yourself beyond your limits, when you face adversity with strength and grace, when you overcome the obstacles that life throws at you, you show the world what's possible. You teach people by example. Your journey becomes a beacon of hope for others. And that's where the real power lies. A legacy isn't something that's built overnight. It's a long game. It's about making consistent, deliberate choices that align with your values and your purpose, even when no one is watching. It's about being relentless in your pursuit of excellence, not for the recognition, but for the impact you want to have. Your legacy isn't built on the applause or the accolades. It's built on the lives you've touched, the lives you've changed, and the example you've set. As you move forward, think about the long-term impact of your decisions. Think about the example you're setting for the next generation, the one that's going to look up to you, learn from you, and be inspired by you. They'll take the lessons you've taught them and carry them forward, just as you've learned from others who came before you. Your legacy becomes the foundation for others to build on, a stepping stone for those who will come after you. And the ripple effect of that impact will continue long after you're gone. This is why it's so important to start now. Start building your legacy today, even if it feels small, even if it feels like no one is noticing. Every action you take now is a building block for the future you're creating. Whether it's the way you treat people, the way you handle challenges, or the way you make decisions, each moment contributes to the story you're writing. And the story you're writing matters. It matters not only for you but for everyone who comes after you. Building an unstoppable life is about creating something bigger than yourself. It's about living with purpose, with intention, and with the knowledge that every choice you make is contributing to the legacy you're building. The ultimate goal isn't to accumulate success for the sake of success. It's to leave behind something of lasting value. Something that can't be erased, something that will stand the test of time. The truth is, the world doesn't need another person chasing success for the sake of recognition. The world needs people who are willing to take the long road, who are willing to face the struggle, who are willing to do the hard work day in and day out, knowing that the impact they're making will last far beyond their own lifetime. It's about creating something that makes a difference, not just in your life, but in the lives of those around you. When you build an unstoppable life, you're not just focused on personal achievement, you're focused on building something that lasts. You're focused on creating a legacy that will inspire others to do the same. The more you focus on building your legacy, the more you begin to realize that the journey isn't just about the destination, it's about the process. It's about the day-to-day grind, the moments that test your resolve, and the way you rise above the challenges. That's where your legacy is forged. The beauty of building a legacy is that it's not something you do for others, it's something you do for yourself. When you know that your